Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording on Monday, November 18th, in between Celtics games. Celtics have had a lot of two-day breaks lately, but we're here ready to talk about all the news, talk about a missed call on Jayson Tatum. Not in a good way for the Celtics. Their matchup against the undefeated 15-0 Cleveland Cavaliers. I believe it's the fourth team in NBA history to hit that mark, and a bunch of other stuff as well. How you doing today, Sam?
Doing good. I'm excited about tomorrow's game against Cleveland. Put it on the sheet, but it's not often that we get exciting games this early in the season. Like November 19th, as you hear this, usually you're waiting until Christmas. When we had the opening night game after we did the pod, I was like, Jack, probably going to be the biggest game until Christmas. And in fact, when an undefeated team is coming to the building to play some ball, everybody should get up for that. So we're going to go into a little bit of discussion about that today. We have just some of general Celtic stuff to catch up on. We'll take you around the NBA, tell you how Sunday went for some teams, check on the standings, and then we have some rumors and good news for people that like inside the NBA. And then the rat list. Make sure you subscribe, leave a like, comment, tell us what you think of Celtics Cavs heading into it. Jack and I are here every single day, so hit the bell.
Yes, sir. We are here ready to rock, and we're going to start with rewinding a little bit. So Celtics played the Raptors on Saturday night. My whole week has been thrown off because I literally haven't been home for the past 7 days. I've been running around, but Celtics played the Raptors, won in overtime on a Jayson Tatum buzzer beater. However, it shouldn't have counted because Jayson Tatum traveled. And everyone on Twitter is very angry. I admittedly haven't seen too much of the reaction on Twitter. I'm going to pull up the clip of Tatum traveling, and to the 2-minute report, whatever's credit, it was a pretty clear travel. He did just very clearly travel. I'm going to pull up the clip just so we can watch on the last 2-minute report. The last 2-minute report got him. Here it is for the YouTube viewers, audio listeners. You can go search the clip on Twitter if you'd like, but it's before he puts his dribble, dribble down. He does like a little stutter step, then steps a third time before he gets into his dribble package. And it should have been called for travel, but it wasn't. And so the last 2-minute report said, okay, he traveled. Oops. And before we get into the reaction and everything, the added context is the 2-minute report also said, oh yeah, we should have when Jalen. I did miss that, and Raptors fans can be upset. Jaylen Brown also should have been either, I can't remember if they were in the bonus, but probably going to the free throw line to shoot free throws to go ahead anyways. Obviously, Toronto fans would rather have the former because they probably would have had a chance as well after that, but still, that is what the 2-minute report said.
Okay, so first and foremost, if you're a Raptors fan, you should not give a fuck. You want your team to lose. You want your team to go get Cooper Flag. Like,
this is a perfect tank job. Close game,
if
still
the
lose.
Celtics and Raptors front offices met before the game, they'd be like, all right, like Brad Stevens would be like, we want to win this game. Masai Ujiri would be like, we want to lose this game. And that would be like the discussion.
This would be the perfect outcome for both sides. Raptors
Correct.
Show a little promise, be a little competitive. RJ Barrett looks pretty good. Jakob Poeltl looks pretty good, up the trade value, and then you still lose. This is, I agree, 100%.
Yeah, Masai Ujiri is like, we'll lose. And the Celtics are like, okay, you guys lose. We'll make Poeltl look good, and we'll talk about Poeltl in all of our post-game press conferences as well. And then teams around the league will be like, oh my God, Poeltl's so good. The real issue with this whole Tatum thing is the fucking crybaby shit that comes from everybody on the internet when it comes to Jayson Tatum for whatever reason. Now,
I haven't seen this.
If you listen to this show, you know, like, I don't dislike Jayson Tatum. I think Tatum's like a good guy, whatever. But like, he pisses me off when he plays sometimes. But like, I'm not like a Tatum fanboy. The amount of hate that he gets, no matter what, is ridiculous. So after this last 2-minute report travel call came out yesterday, Bleacher Report literally made one of like the graphics, like the things that I'll like share as memes. And it said Jayson Tatum traveled like on the final game winner or whatever. NBA Central posted a clip of the play. And I think it was Nick NBA that quote tweeted that and was like, by the way, there was no video tweet for NBA Central when something similar happened in Kings Jazz the other day.
This was my reaction too. Apparently, and I was because this happened when I was in the car driving back from Maine with Noah. She told me like they did this to Paolo last year. Like Paolo had traveled on a game winner or 2-minute report on a game
Okay.
winner, and this same like media, everyone was like, "Oh my god, look at this thing happen." I will say the general fan reaction to something like that with Paolo is very different from a general fan reaction
Correct.
with Tatum, because Tatum is just a hated person. But
For
this was
whatever
also
reason.
my initial thought. But I do also think like, okay, well, you know what I'm saying? Like there is an added everyone happens.
The guy plays basketball and hangs out with his son. That's it. I don't get
People
why
hate him,
people
man.
hate him so much, man. He's fine. On the contrary, just to be fair, all the people that went on social media Saturday night and they were like, "Hey, I told you so. See, he can make a game winner." Uh, he needs to make like 2 or 3 in a row before you start getting on your high horse about being like, "I don't know why people say he's not clutch." Like I do. Did you watch the last? I think the last one he made was in Philly. Before this for the game, like
Yeah.
there's a reason why people are like, "Oh, I don't trust him with the ball with the game on line," because every single time it seems that it ended in a step back off the back rim.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're justified if you're like, "I don't believe in him in the clutch." It's great the shot went in Saturday. The travel last 2-minute report shouldn't make you feel different about the shot going in because he still didn't make the shot. If you're a diehard Raptors fan that wants your team to win every game, sure, be mad.
Mm-hmm. I remember last time when I was like trying to find, I forget if it was Pritchard or Tatum, but I was trying to find like, oh, how can I see the last 5 seconds of this year? And I was like, oh, it's NBA.com somewhere. I was wrong. It's Basketball Reference. It's StatHead where you can find that. And I'm going to look at, I want to see Tatum shots in the last like 5 seconds in a losing, you know what I'm saying? Like, find single shot. So I'll run you through the process as I look for this here. Or actually I'll play this or I want to watch it too. So I'll do that after. But 2 things. NBA posted a compilation of Jayson Tatum game winners after the Raptors one. So we can watch that just to see, not as a look, he can do it, as a when was the last one. Do you know what I'm saying?
To my knowledge, it is Philly, but we can take a look.
Philly is the first one in the clip, so I don't know if they're going forward to back or back to forward. But this is StatHead. This is how you find it. We can do field goals. I want to find a single shot. So find single shot, regular season or playoffs, whole career. You can go by Tatum here. Statistical filter, shot filter can be time remaining from. So what do you want to do? Last 5 seconds.
Yes.
So last 5 seconds. In the fourth quarter or overtime. And then score. Can I see scoring margin? Okay, so you can do team minus opponent. Is this the correct one? Yeah, so this would be, or shot to tie or take the lead in
Correct.
this parameter. So last 5 seconds, fourth quarter overtime, shot to
Pretty
tie
cool
or
they have
take the
all
lead.
this.
Oh yeah, I was like angry that anyone couldn't find this, and I saw a filter on Twitter and it was like StatHead. I was like, oh okay. So Tatum is okay. No, this is wrong. I want to see not just Tatum, and I want to see like
Wait,
shots.
why do you not want to see?
Because I want to see Tatum's all-time record on these shots, not every individual shot. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I want to see what Tatum shoots on this. You'll understand. So I want to see.
It doesn't say that
all
at
of
the bottom of
these.
this. The way.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Okay.
It just is all of them. But you can see a lot of misses. I want to see all of everyone's shots around the league in these parameters, and I think this filter will fix it because this is find shots in a combined season or careers matching it. So instead of that, though, we'll do in the last 10 years, just because it is, or we'll do since Tatum entered the league, because
Yeah,
that is
17, 18.
we'll do that. So since Tatum entered the league, he has taken the 4th most shots in these situations. So he is shooting 19 of 74 on shots to tie or take the lead in the last 5 seconds of the fourth quarter or overtime, which is 25.7%. Not very good, obviously. But if you look around here, while Tatum still isn't good, it's not like other people are shooting 50%. The top is Steph Curry at 22 of 65. So he has made 3 more shots than Tatum on 9 less attempts. He's shooting 34%. DeMar DeRozan is 21 of 83, 25. De'Aaron Fox is 20 of 54, 37. Trae Young is 18 of 53. Anthony Davis is really good. The real difference between everybody here is Tatum is 3 of 31 from 3 in these situations. So that is where you're seeing a lot of the, oh my God, what are you doing?
That's where the flashbacks come in. That is
Exactly.
the burning into the brain of, oh my goodness, please no.
That's the rough spot. And then if you look at the last 5 years alone, I think this is what the stat that I saw: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think Tatum is taking the most, or he is most in the certain number. He's taken the most in the last 5 years at 55, shooting 24%. Again, DeRozan's at 20%, Devin Booker's at 22%, Jamal Murray's at 28%, like Joel Embiid's at 22%. So like it is common to have a rough. Even Luka, who everyone's like, oh my God, he's so clutch, is shooting 23%. That is that in context. It is just he takes a lot of threes and misses a lot of threes in those situations. Then again, Trae Young is 1 of 12 on threes in those situations. Luka is 4 of 25. So it's not as bad, I think, is the general consensus. But I think what makes it worse is the Celtics are such a talented team. You could probably afford to give the shots to some other people. For those wondering, I can look at Jaylen as well in the last 5 years, how many chances he's gotten. Tatum's got 55 shots to tie or take the lead in the last 5 seconds. Jaylen has had 19, and he's 2 of 19. So the added context is Jaylen is also not amazing in the last 5 years in those spots. So just some extra context there. And I mean, I'll give you a chance to talk as well as we watch the compilation NBA put together of Tatum shots in these spots.
Time to get banned.
You're right. I'm not playing. I'm not getting the monetization taken down. You're so right. But I do think
before yesterday or before Saturday, the last time he had made a game winner was Philly. That's long.
It's been a while. Actually, we can look at that too. I can look at the last like 2 years, and I bet it'll show one made. Or I can look at just Tatum.
Yeah.
I look at any. So seasons, any, Tatum, boom. I'll do single shot instead, and we can see it. But I think this filter is good. So before
you invert that.
Yeah, before Toronto, he missed. The last one he made was Philly. You're correct. In Philly in the playoffs. Philly in the playoffs. 501-23. He made that's third quarter. Hold up. I don't have the quarter in. Sorry. I was like, wait, that doesn't look right. So it needs to be fourth quarter OT. The last make was sort by date. Make a lot of misses in a row. Philly, February 25th, 2023. Correct. A lot of
long time. A lot of shots.
A lot of misses in between. A lot of misses in between.
It's frustrating because it's not even so much the misses. It's just more of like it's the same thing every time. Like
the one before that, Brooklyn, the first round.
The playoff game?
Yep.
Okay, so that was a lone example of it being different. The one in Philly was different because it was off the backcourt charge play where he comes up with a running start, and it wasn't, hey, go get a bucket. I don't want you to try and find like the last before Saturday go get a bucket game winner that he's made if they exist.
Well, it's not hard because I can just look at the ones he made. We can find the shot because there haven't been a lot of makes, so it's not like I'm going to be searching for. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be searching forever.
I mean,
for
you
the
could
make.
do that while I talk, then. But like,
yeah,
what I'm saying is, the only time these shots seem to go in is when it's something different. Like even Saturday, it was something different. The play wasn't even supposed to be for Tatum. He didn't come out of the timeout thinking, "Oh, it's me time. I'm going to have to create this shot." It was unlucky that Jaylen got clipped and they didn't call it, and it ended up having to be an improvised situation. But it feels like almost never is there a chance for him to win the game and he creates something that's great. And if he does, it's not going in. Like even the regulation shot was a great shot. I don't even hate that.
Yeah.
Wide open look from the half circle, mid-range. Doesn't even hit the rim.
So the make before that I see, and I can't sort by jump shots, unfortunately, was a Pacers game in January of 2022. That he made. He tied the game in regulation.
I remember this. Yes, this is the last time that they had a ISO play for Tatum that he made the step back.
Yes, so he made this one. There was one before that too, against, where did I see?
This is 2.5 seasons ago.
Yeah, against New York to tie the game, I think. To tie
And
the
there was
game.
also, I don't know if it was Christmas, but it was against the Lakers that he had a very similar play. It might have been with a little bit more time on the clock than 5 seconds, but he did have a big
Mhm.
make over LeBron to tie the game.
Okay. Okay. He had another one to tie against the Knicks. This is the last one he hit to take the lead in the last 5 seconds. It's against the Wizards in 2021
This game, there
with
was no fans there.
yeah, with Tristan Thompson starting. This was the last one.
And this was a layup, by the way.
Yeah, Bradley Beal. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. Prize Pick also now offers Venmo for quick and easy deposits and withdrawals into your account this sports season. Sam and I use Prize Picks on the pregame show every single time. We love picking more on turnovers for opposing players. We love picking more on Jayson Tatum points, on Drew Holiday threes, on Al Horford threes. It's our favorite time of the show. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. And it's barely 5 seconds. So it's been a minute. It's been a minute. The other thing I wanted to see before we wrap up this segment is how many shots in that situation have gone to not Jayson Tatum.
Good luck.
Since he entered the league. Well, I mean, I can't just filter by team, so it's not that hard to find. It's just
Okay.
like you're gonna see a lot of Tatum. Excuse me.
It's just so funny that everyone immediately went online and was like, "See, he could do it."
Yeah, I know.
I was like,
He's been
everybody
cold.
is embarrassing themselves tonight. Like, you guys
He's
are
been cold.
off the fucking rails.
He has certainly been cold. So since Tatum entered the league, the most shots in that spot have gone to Jaylen Brown. Now, Derek White, last 5 seconds to how you take the lead, 5 of 8. Pretty good. Pretty good. Sorry, I'm not sharing screen. I'll show you. My only question with Derek White is one of those is the tip in against Miami. I don't know what the rest are. Like, I can't remember them. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, the fact that he has had 8
Let me
shots
look.
in those spots surprises me. I mean, I can definitely
it's
go
just
by
by
them.
player.
Yes. I mean, I can. I'm gonna go look now, obviously. But it is interesting to. Oh wait, hold up. That wasn't even the fourth quarter. That was in general. So that was just the end of a quarter. It for whatever reason, when I search a new thing, everything else stays the same except the quarter goes away. So I need to keep updating that. So
Jay's
yes,
title,
Derek White
who's
is
most clutch Celtic.
Derek White has had 1 shot attempt to tie or take the lead in the last 5 seconds of the fourth quarter overtime. Can you remember what it was, Sam?
And they didn't even ask him to take the shot.
I know. So that is something. Since Tatum entered the league, he has taken 170 or he has taken 74 shots in those spots. It resets filters on me. The next most in the fourth quarter. Jesus Christ, it resets everything when I need reset. Okay, so sorry, this is really bad product. As much as it is cool, it is very ridiculous. He's taken 43 since he's entered the league. Taken 17 out. Nobody on the current roster outside of Peyton Pritchard has had more than 3. Peyton Pritchard has had 3. Hauser's had 2. Derek White's had 1. That's it. Luke Cornett had 1 because he tried the tip in.
Yes. Yeah.
So.
I mean, it's what you would expect. I don't think any team is drawing up plays for a guy that's not their best player. Or with the Celtics, it's a little different because they have Jaylen too. But as much as we all love Derek White and Drew and Al Horford and Porzingis, well, Porzingis is someone maybe when he comes back, he gets a chance. But you're just not. You're not saying, hey, here you go, while Tatum stands there. As much as annoying as it might be to watch the stupid step backs at times, it's just like, really, what else can you do?
Because I mean, we went over it in the last pod. Like, if you run something, you run the risk of something going wrong, a turnover, them sending two to the ball, and you're not getting a pass off. Like, it's just it's not as simple as, oh my God, just run a play, because that's not like, you don't want to risk the things that could go wrong on a play in that spot. So, anyways, let's talk Celtics Cavs. Celtics are welcoming the Cavaliers to Boston tonight. As you're listening to this, Cavs are 15-0 on the season. Celtics sitting in second place in the Eastern Conference at 11-3. They're the only two teams in the Eastern Conference who are above a 60% win percentage. The Magic are third in the East at 8-6. Knicks are actually 7-6, so they're above 500 too. So you can't use that as the demarcation line anymore. But yeah, Cavs Celtics are far ahead of the pack in the East, and they're scoring off. Celtics hoping to give them their first loss of the season.
It's Monday afternoon. There is already a big game feel I'm hearing at TD Garden surrounding Celtics Cavs in the cup, nonetheless. Green court tomorrow for the biggest stage that there could possibly be. I'm excited for this game. I said it to you at the beginning of the show. It's not often that we get November games that feel like they are just monumental must-watch NBA viewing. And tomorrow is shaping up to be that. Heading into the game, here's something to think about. Cavs, fourth in the NBA in paint points. Celtics, fourth worst in the NBA at defending the paint. Just something to keep your eye on, as the Celtics continuously find themselves in close games against teams that they should be blowing out because they are giving up a ton of points in the paint. They're about to play the team that hasn't lost yet and has been really good at scoring inside and has two big guys that are playing the ball.
Yeah. I'm very excited for the game. A bunch of Celtics were asked about it at practice today. Sam Hauser, he's excited to try to give them their first L of the season. He said, we're hoping we can put the first loss in the loss column. Joe Mazzulla praised the Cavs, said, yeah, they've been playing really well. They're a different team. He said they crash better. They're cutting more. They're opening up gaps. They're shooting the ball really well. All that stuff is happening. He just called them a talented team. The biggest thing I'm seeing around Twitter as a comparison is they just kind of play like the 2015 Hawks. Like everyone, there is no oh, this dude's averaging 30, he's leading the team. It is like everybody is putting up somewhat similar scoring. Everyone is getting touches. Everyone is getting shots. Like they just play good basketball. Donovan Mitchell's averaging 25, taking 19 shots. So he's definitely the leader, but Garland's averaging 21.5 on 15 shots. Mobley's averaging 18 on 12.5 shots. Jared Allen's averaging 14 and 11 on 9 shots a game. Karis LeVert's playing well. Ty Jerome's playing well. They just got a lot of good stuff going on in Cleveland right now.
They do. And this is what separates Cleveland from other teams in the East that are contenders, where Milwaukee, even though right now you don't feel like they're a contender, they might be dead. But coming into the season, they're a team that should have been competing with the best of the East. The reason why a team like Cleveland is playing better than them is because they actually have depth. They actually have guys that they can rely on to score outside of the top 2 or 3 guys. Philly, really can't say the same for them either. Miami, can't say the same for them. The role players are important, and that's really what made Miami such a great team for years, was that even when Jimmy didn't have it or Bam wasn't creating a ton offensively, you had the next 3D printed Heat culture guy to come out and score 20 points against the Celtics, and they would lose. This Cavs team is built in a similar fashion where you could see, oh, Karis LeVert's on this team. He's a Celtic killer. Dean Wade is there. He had that monster game in Cleveland. They have guys that are going to be ready to compete, be ready when the ball is kicked to them. I mean, how many guys on this team are shooting 40% or better from 3? Mitchell, Garland, Karis LeVert, Ty Jerome, George Niang at 36%, Merrill 36%. My eyes are really being fucking tested here, man. I hate the NBA's. Isaac Okoro at 44% is fucking crazy.
Everyone's shooting really well from 3 for the Cavs.
Yes,
for sure.
That is what's helping them win basketball games. And Al Horford was kind of asked about teams playing a more Celtics-based style in the NBA, and it's just something they have to adjust to. Tomorrow's going to be a big test.
Definitely. I mean, I'm very excited. I think this is the game the Celtics will get a little bit pumped up for. I think it's something they're going to be excited to play. I don't think they'll want to lose this game. Not that they want to lose any game, but you look at this game and you're like, oh, interesting. So I think it'll be intriguing. Sorry, we just got an update from PR, and I want to look at it quick. Kristaps Porzingis has reached the next phase in his recovery as part of the rehab plan. Porzingis and the Celtics. Porzingis and Celtics forward Xavier Tillman will be assigned to practice with the main Celtics at the Auerbach Center this afternoon. Following the practice, they will be recalled to the Boston Celtics, where Porzingis will continue to ramp up his workload. No additional information at this time. So Porzingis is going to practice with Maine today. So that's the new title of the podcast. Sorry, it's 25 minutes in, but you bet your ass we're titling about that, and we're going to talk about Porzingis now. We're talking about KP now, brother. That got me juiced up. I'm very excited to see KP.
Yeah. I mean, he's looked like he's like ready to go. He's been around the team. He's all smiley. He's out there doing his workouts before the game. So this is truly the next step. I think we all thought Christmas was going to be the time. Still isn't that close. There's still probably steps to go before he actually suits up and takes the floor for the Celtics. But this is step one. Practicing with Maine. Hope it goes well. Hope he dominates. I wonder what it's like for those guys in Maine to play against somebody like Porzingis, where he's just levels above anybody that they're playing against in the G League. Man, I'm just thinking about what it's going to be like to have someone scoring from inside the arc and creating from the free throw line again.
Kristaps is coming back. We're all talking about December, like, okay, it's December. It is November 18th. Dude is coming back very, very soon. Like, December is right around the corner. So even though like the thought of December sounds like it's really far away, it is not anymore. I'm very excited to have Kristaps back on the floor, just from viewing perspective, from recovering the team perspective. He's very fun to cover. It is great to hear that he's practicing with Maine. I'm like picturing Hassan Ward and Dimitros Skapensev trying to deal with the student side right now. I do think putting Tillman down there is Tillman's going to guard KP in practice. I assume that's why they're doing that. Maybe it is just I would think more of Xavier Tillman going to Maine if it wasn't they're both going to be recalled right after. So I assume that it's just, okay, go beat the shit out of Porzingis for an hour while he practices. But hearing that he is entering the next phase in his recovery is absolutely phenomenal news for the Celtics. People should be very, very excited.
I can't wait to have him back. Super cool dunks, alley-oops, blocks. I just hope he's able to play at the level that he was at last year. I don't think, I honestly don't know. We don't know. This injury that he's recovering from is like one of the rarest that you could possibly have in the world, where when it happened, nobody knew what to expect, what the recovery time was, if he could play with it or not. I hope that he's just not limited. I don't think he's being rushed back in the slightest, which is a very positive thing. But when guys are out for this long and they have to miss time and they enter the season while everyone's already kind of got their feet under them, I wouldn't be shocked if he gets off to a little bit of a slow start. And there's also the wrinkle where I'm sure the Celtics are going to do what they can to make him comfortable. When he's back, the first play will be an alley-oop or something, just to have him see the ball go in.
Yeah. I think it's going to be great news or great experience, I should say, for Kristaps Porzingis. I think practicing in any capacity is a good thing. Obviously, like, it's different practicing with Maine versus practicing with Boston. However, like, just because it's the Maine Celtics doesn't mean it's not real bodies, doesn't mean it's not real professional athletes, doesn't mean it's not real people who are playing real basketball. Like, the reality of the situation is he is going to practice at full speed with an actual basketball team. And even though it's not with Boston, that is phenomenal. Like, that shows that he is making real progress. I mean, Noah wrote a whole thing for Celtics blog, like, about how he was, in Brooklyn, every time there was a down play, he was grabbing the ball, he was going, trying to shoot the ball. Like, he was all in on being back on the court. So seeing that he is ready to go in this capacity is a very much a good thing. I am curious what it's going to mean for minutes when he does come back, because it does seem like it's going to be soon. Like, is it less Nemi minutes? Is it less, the Jordan Walsh minutes go away? Is it Horford gets a bit more of a break? Like, I don't know what that's going to look like.
I think you're going to be able to get Horford some rest. I think you can, I don't want to say stray away from, but you can rely less on the backup bigs to eat those minutes. I mean, there have been times this year where we've said Cornette looks shaky or Nemi looks shaky. Plenty of times where we've had to say Tillman looks shaky. For the most part, I think those guys have impressed, but the inconsistencies are still there. There's a reason why they are not playing significant minutes when the team is at its full strength. And that's always going to be a good thing. When you have your best five out there for the Celtics, much better. Much better. Maybe the paint defense gets better. It's going to be nice to have a rim protector back. As we talked about Celtics Cavs tomorrow, and the Celtics being the fourth worst paint points giving up team in the NBA. Maybe having that 7'3" guy that can jump and has long arms would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is the most underrated part of Kristaps coming back. Obviously, everyone thinks about the floor spacing, everyone thinks about the post move, stuff like that. But like you said, the Celtics have been really bad at protecting the paint this year, and having a guy behind them like Kristaps, who is so adept at helping over, protecting the rim, at just going straight up, at blocking those shots, is going to be a huge advantage for the Celtics. It feels weird, and I don't know if you feel the same. I forget Kristaps is on this team, like
A little bit.
constantly,
A little bit,
like day to day covering the team, day to day going to the games, practice, stuff like that. Like, I just do not remember he is a part of this team, because it's like, realistically, it has been so long since we've seen him as a regular part of the lineup. Obviously, there was the finals and he'd played, but that felt more like a cameo than Kristaps is actually healthy and playing, right? That felt more like, oh, here's Kristaps for a few minutes.
The Celtics are making a Marvel movie, and they're like, we need to sell tickets. So here's Porzingis. He's in
seriously.
the movie. Come see it.
Celtic, like, he hasn't started a game for the Celtics since May. And they played till June. Or the middle of June, and it was early May. So he didn't start a game for the last entire playoff run outside of Miami. So it's weird. I do wonder if they'll bring him off the bench when he returns. I would guess. I think they'll take him off the bench.
I don't think they care. Well, first and foremost, I don't think
it doesn't
he
matter,
cares.
but
he doesn't.
Yeah, of course.
I think it'll be nice to get him his own individual applause. I don't think the plan for the entire season will have Porzingis be a bench guy. I just don't think that makes sense. I don't think it's the way that they operated last year when he was healthy, so I don't know why they would stray away from it now if he is healthy. I can see it if they're trying to get him integrated back into the team. If he's on a minutes restriction, I would rather have him eat his minutes not in the first 5 minutes of the game. Maybe save those 5 minutes for the end of the game when you need him out there to close.
Mm-hmm.
But once he's off a minutes restriction, I don't see the benefit to bring him off the bench.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm pumped. This is great news. Because before this, we hadn't heard anything about him actually practicing. We've heard oh yeah, he's been running a little bit. He's been ramping his workload. He's been doing something here and there. But this is the first oh my god, he is back. Do you want to do the Pritchard thing and the White House thing as well, or do you want to just jump to the email?
Sellers going to the White House. Joe Mazzulla doesn't care.
Yeah. Pritchard talked about how the coaches plan for him to have an expanded role. This took up a large enough chunk of the podcast where it feels like we don't need extra filler stuff. The last thing before we get to the email, then in that case, just quickly, if you want to read it, I wrote about Jay Scrubb. I talked to him in Maine about recovering, about how he stayed in contact with the Celtics, stuff like that. So that's up on Hardwood Houdini right now. He said that he was grateful to Boston because even though he got away from the 2A, it was still guaranteed. So he didn't have to worry about a contract while he's injured. So Boston helped him out that way. He said he was literally in Boston. So the guys would come hang out with him as he was recovering. Joe would send him food. There was a very clear connection between him, and everything. I don't know. That's what he sent him. But yeah, so Jay Scrubb talked about basically how well Boston treated him, everything going like that. So if you want to read about Jay Scrubb, his recovery, go check that out now. Anyway, basketball season is back, and I could not be more excited. Getting to watch my favorite team live in person is my favorite time of the year, and I get all of my tickets on Game Time. Game Time is the perfect app to use for all of your ticketing needs. It filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. It brings the best prices, the best deals for you to go watch live basketball right to the front. But it's more than basketball season. The Patriots are back, and the Chargers are coming to town down very, very soon, and it looks like you can get a great deal to that game. Justin Herbert going to come to Gillette Stadium to hopefully play Drake May. He did get the start recently, so that should be a very, very fun quarterback matchup as well. My favorite part of the app is the fact that you can filter out the fees, you can look at the best deals, and it highlights what it believes are going to be the best deals for you to get the exact type of ticket you want. Curation makes it easier to save more on sports, concerts, comedy, theater, everything you want. I saw Noah Khan over the summer. I use Game Time to get my tickets. All-in pricing is another part that I absolutely love about the app. Toggling the feature shows the exact total upfront. Like I said, filters out the fees, tells you what you're paying with everything included. It is perfect. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time Picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time. Jump into the email. You can email us at hbtc@gmail.com. That's hbtcpod@gmail.com. We have a bunch of emails today from RJ. So let's check it out, see what he's got to say. The first one is C's keep bragging rights over the Bucks. Evening, folks. Man, that was an ugly game. Redeemed. I know the easy take is if the Celtics make their threes, it isn't close. Celtics did not seem to play with enough quickness on offense tonight. This is the Bucks game. The ball wasn't necessarily sticking out, but it wasn't zipping either. Part of the problem is that the Celtics were a guard short, but even Pritchard and D. White were strolling the ball up. But as I'm fond of saying, winning makes everything pretty. Even the clanker shot that JT used as a warm-up for the OT winner. Be well, RJ. Why is it bragging rights over the Bucks? This is the Raptors game email. Am I crazy?
Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting.
I'm not sure. Did the Raptors beat Milwaukee?
I don't know. Maybe he meant Raptors. But yes, good win.
Celtics in a long time.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think the Raptors beat the Celtics since 2021, 2020, before COVID.
I don't know. They beat them in the bubble, so.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
Next one, RJ says, missing the invisible man. Morning, folks. Good night's sleep helps with perspective. The Celtics win or lose as a team. JT's three finished it off, but tonight Jordan Walsh just made three matter two. Nimi got cooked a lot on defense, but missed a bunny putback, but he blocked 2 shots and made 6 of 8. The other miss was a shot clock 3. Oof. Celtics came in shorthanded, no KP, obviously, but I think tonight illustrated the impact Drew has. His ability to help on either Barrett or Pirtle shaves off maybe 4 to 6 points from their scoring. His traffic direction on the overall defense likely helps Nimi and maybe takes away another 1 to 2 Raptor buckets. Offense, if he makes his usual pair of threes per game, that's +6. So instead of the Celtics being tied at the end of the regulation, they're up 12 to 16, and that's without the Raptors shifting their offensive game to try to play catch-up ball. I'm looking forward to these being at full strength. Minus our favorite Lafayette against the Cavs Cup on Tuesday. Be well, RJ. Yes, to a degree. I don't think it's that simple that they would have won by 16 if Drew was healthy, but I do know what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been nice to have another perimeter defender on there, especially as guys seem to get in the paint a lot. But I think playing a close game does matter. As much as we all hated it, I'm so happy I didn't go to the game on Saturday. I would have been absolutely fucked coming home at like 1 a.m, leaving the Garden. But you need those reps. It's good to see that they were able to execute down the stretch when it felt like the Raptors were going to get a bucket no matter what because of offensive rebounds. They were still able to get points. Al Horford had a really good close to the game. And you need that from him in particular because he's going to be a safety valve. So to see that he's ready to make plays, make good decisions on the perimeter after the kickouts is very good.
Missed the mute button, 100%. Next email from RJ. Philip Hart, HBTC Poet Laureate. Morning, folks. If I'm the Costco of commenters with insights and bulk, then Philip Hart is the Tiffany. Amazingly crafted pieces, whether it's the statistical breakdown of the HBT break beats. What are we even doing here? It's an amazing piece of art. And that's before we even mentioned card captor, Sam and Jack. Keep up the great work, Phil. Podcast comment. Would Houston want to pick up Grant Williams? Saw this question. If Drew is the C's middle linebacker calling coverages, who is his backup? Be well, RJ, who's grateful that Noah isn't an HBTC regular because their anime version would shatter the Celtics internet. Jesus Christ. Podcast comment. Would Houston pick up Grant Williams? I don't think Charlotte wants to give him up. I think Charlotte's in a good spot. They like him. And then who's the backup Drew? Nobody. Really nobody. I don't think he can replicate.
Tatum
I don't think he can replicate that like Drew can. So last email. Ratless rebuttal from a lifetime pedestrian. Morning, guys. This is my response as a lifetime pedestrian, but not what you think. Pedestrians like driver needs to follow the rules of the roads. The first person
Correct.
to the intersection has the right of way for low volume crosswalks. Also, pedestrians should never cross with their headphones on. Never. Now, my rant for driver behavior at crosswalks is that they need to, need to look both ways, not just for oncoming vehicle traffic. If I'm on their passenger side, I will not start crossing until I've made eye contact with you and I know that you are aware of my existence. Also, drivers who start their turn without seeing me stop and then wave me across, hell no. Clear the lane. I'm not giving you a free shot at me. Be well, RJ. P.S. Sam, can you add your guys' Blue Skies handles to the outro?
Why me?
Well, because you do the outro.
Uh,
What do you mean, why you?
I don't know why I
do...
thought you meant the screen.
No.
Pedestrians. I disagree with the who was there first. I think especially if you're a pedestrian and there's one car coming, you just wait till the car is gone and you go around.
Mm-hmm.
There's no need to have the one. And if you're the driver, it's just as bad. If you stop for me and I'm waiting to cross when I was just going to go behind you, I'm going to be annoyed because then I have to like hurry up and cross while you wait. It's easier for everybody if there's no cars behind the driver to just keep going.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, your Blue Sky is just the same as Twitter, right?
Mine's just Jack Simone. Like, if you just search either of our names on there, you can find us. It is just I'm just Jack Simone. Sam is Sam.
We're on Cam's starter pack list.
Yes.
Thing,
yes.
Which is very nice of him.
Anyways, thank you for the emails, RJ. We can jump into the NBA section and check in around the league. You made the sheet, so I'll let you rock first if you'd like.
All right. NBA games check in. I just put little updates on the Sunday slate. We can do the standings afterwards if you'd like. First things first, Cavs beat Hornets, still undefeated, set up the clash against the Celtics on Tuesday. I mean, that was exactly how you expect this game to go. 14-point win for the Cavs. We don't have to spend too much time on it because we already talked about them today. Next, Julius Randle wins the game for Minnesota against Phoenix. Now, Julius Randle hits a step back three. I would be devastated to win the game. The guy defending him on this play flops instead of trying to defend Julius Randle. So Randle effectively gets a wide open look for the game because the defender was trying to draw a foul. Minnesota, I think they're 8-6 now. Like, they've been playing decent ball. The West is going to be a bloodbath. This is a tough way to lose a game. If the Celtics lost a game to Julius Randle this way, I'd be on here so mad. It's good. It's truly good to see him fitting okay with Minnesota, though, because I was very, very skeptical of how that would work.
Mm-hmm. Did they put out a 2-minute report on the play?
Oh, I mean, they must have. They have to do that because it was a one-possession game.
Because it did look like a foul. It's not out yet, but it will be.
Okay. Oh, yeah, it'll be a day. Okay.
He did give him a chicken wing. It was Josh Okogie. So I guess, like, I don't know. I would need to see the replay close up and the 2-minute report to see if it was like a legitimate thing. But
I think at that point you're just like, I think you just have to defend. just as much as I say it for the offensive player, where if they're driving to the basket and it's ticky tack, they should not be relying on to decide the game. Same thing goes for the defender.
Yes, but if he actually got pushed and there was no chance of him getting back to contest the shot because he got pushed away, you try to draw the charge anyways because you're not getting back to contest it, right? Like, if you actually got pushed away, what are you going to do? Like, try to half contest? Like, if he got pushed away from Julius Randle, he's not going to get back in time to contest the shot anyways.
It looked like it was floppish.
Julius Randle extended his arm fully into him. That's what I saw. Like, it was definitely a little bit, like, he definitely exaggerated it more than it could have. But, like, at that point, you either have to try to get back and maybe not contest or draw the foul. So it is what it is. I mean, good for Julius Randle for hitting the shot, though, for sure. They're off to it.
Minnesota's little alternate court looks kind of cool with their City Edition jerseys that they made, like the wolf iced out, the paint iced out to match them, and their white jerseys at home. Can't hate it too much. Blazers might be decent. Blazers are now 6-8. They beat the Hawks on Sunday. Rob Williams continues to play good ball for them. I know they're not going to be able to compete in the Western Conference because the Western Conference is just essentially battle royale. But, man, Portland might not be as bad as everybody thinks. Shady and Sharp's playing pretty good ball. Again, Rob is back. They just beat Atlanta, who beat the Celtics. Granted, Trae Young played in this game, so maybe the defense wasn't as solid as it was against Boston. But Blazers are beating some teams. They beat Minnesota in the NBA Cup last week too. They're here to play. Fun young team. Donovan Clingan playing there. I think Ayton has been out, so he's getting a little bit of opportunity too.
Rob closed the other day. Shaden Sharp looks really good too. He put up 30 in the night. He's been good.
If I'm the Blazers, this is a moment where I'm thinking to myself, the NBA Cup was made for me. We're hot right now. Let's see if we can keep winning games. I don't know if they play Tuesday in the Tuesday slate of games or they don't play till Friday, but they are off to a good start in the group stage. So if I'm them, I'm like, why not us? I'm all in on the Kool-Aid. This is a fun one. The Jokic-less Nuggets lose to the Jawless Grizzlies in Memphis. Now, Jack, no Jokic in this game. Whose responsibility is it to play ball for the Nuggets?
Jamal Murray.
Jamal Murray, who flew to New York between games on this road trip to watch UFC 309 on Saturday night, the night before Grizzlies Nuggets. The event finished at 1:30 in the morning. The flight to Memphis from New York is 3 hours. Jamal Murray probably does not sleep until 4 or 5 in the morning. If he maybe sleeps on the plane. He only finishes with 13 points in this game. He turns the ball over 6 times and only shoots 40% from the field. Very, very tough look for Jamal Murray to make this sort of move, knowing Jokic is out, and he's like one of the elder statesmen on this team. Like he's supposed to be a leader. He's gonna have to be the guy. Let me go stay out all night and go watch UFC fights. Insane behavior. I'd be pissed if I was a Grizzlies fan. I mean, Nuggets fan.
Yeah, it's odd. It is what it is. It's definitely not the best look. It is probably like he obviously probably didn't buy the tickets knowing Jokic was out. But it is, yeah, it's definitely not a good look. It's definitely not a good look.
Correct.
At all.
Bad look. Very bad look.
I will say he played about as well as he's been playing all season. So he is just having a really bad year so far. But definitely
sometimes when you're in a slump, pulling an all-nighter will get you out of it.
Definitely not the best optics for Mr. Murray.
Pistons play the Bulls tonight. They beat the Wizards on Sunday. They beat the Bulls today. They'll be 500. 16 games into the season. But they beat the brakes off the Wizards yesterday. Cade, I think, had a triple-double. Pistons continue to look good. After the game, the Pistons Twitter account tweeted out, we have to say it. Sometimes it's like, just don't be that team. Taking a shot at Kyle Kuzma, who last year was clowning the Pistons during their losing streak. By the way, the Pistons last year beat the Wizards twice. 2 of their 14 wins came against the Wizards. It's kind of fun to see the Pistons winning games. Pistons undefeated in the Cup, beat the brakes off the Wizards. Good momentum building game to go into Chicago tonight. If they're 500, watch out.
Yeah. Pistons are better than I thought. Cade's been really good. Tobias Harris
And Ivy's been really good.
Jaden Ivey's been good. I think it's just the shooting, man. Tim Hardaway Jr. and Malik Beasley just giving them any sort of spacing is a very good thing. So good for them. I'm happy for them. I mean, it's wide open Eastern Conference this year. So would you rather them be in the West?
The Pistons?
Yeah.
Why would I rather them be in the West?
I'm just going back on an argument we had earlier this year.
I think if I was a role player, I'd rather join a Western Conference team. Like if I was Malik Beasley, I'd rather join like Phoenix or something like that.
Okay. Sure. I can see that. Yeah, good for Pistons, man. The Wizards are bad, but we knew that.
Fuck the Wizards, man.
Are they even that bad? What's their record? How bad are they?
They're bad.
2-10. Yeah, they're really bad. Okay. I saw a tweet today that said Portland Trailblazers more wins than the Miami Heat.
Yes. Speaking of Heat, lose to Pacers yesterday, 119-110. Like you said, Jack, less wins than the Trailblazers. Just another one of those Eastern Conference teams that looks like ass. I don't know if the Heat are dead. They're not as dead as Milwaukee is dead, but they definitely have some questions that need to be answered because whatever's going on down there is not working. And if they are going to compete with some of the teams at the top of the conference, they're going to have to get better. They're going to have to be more like they just keep losing more and more of these role players that help them win. They lost Max Strus before last season. They lost Caleb Martin over the summer. I think they lost somebody else as well. And they're almost doing what Denver's doing, where they're playing Jenga with their team. They're just losing guys that were never supposed to be guys. Like they lost Gabe Vincent to the Lakers, who was a big piece for them. He sucked for the Lakers. But nonetheless, like they keep taking guys out of their system that clearly work in their system because they don't want to pay them. I don't know if you can just keep getting lucky on taking flyers on guys. And Miami's probably starting to learn that.
Yeah, they haven't been too great this year. I will say there's always a bright spot. Tyler Hero has been incredible for the Heat this year. He's averaging 25, 5 and 5 on 49, 47 splits. So like he's doing his thing. He's carrying his weight. Bam has been really, really bad. He is shooting 43%. Not great. He is taking
Not
2.5
great as a
threes.
big guy.
No, he's taking 2.5 threes this year, which is like more than the 0 he passed. But he percent is shots a game. I don't get it. I just don't understand why that is the way they do things down there. He's taking less shots per game than Terry Rozier. What the fuck? What why? Like for what? How does it make any sense? Terry Rozier is doing 38%, by the way. Jaime Jaquez is taking 8 shots a game. I just don't get the way they are dishing out their shots per game. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like why is this the way they're choosing to do things? I will say
maybe they're trying to find who it's going to be that they can depend on to score outside of the top guys.
That's fucking stupid. You have Jimmy Butler. He's taking 11 shots. That's dumb. Also,
that's the only thing I can think of.
For what it's worth, they do have, at least in my opinion, someone who does look like he could be the next. We found another guy because Pelle Larsson's been really good. Or Pelle Larsson, I don't know how you say it. Pelle.
Okay.
He's from Sweden. He's only playing like 14 minutes a night, but he's had a couple big games for them. He's shooting 40% from 3 on low volume. He kind of looks like you.
He looks like me. Pull him up. Well, I hate white NBA players that aren't in the Celtics.
Hold up. Here you go. Here's Pelle Larsson. He's Swedish. He's got
maybe a little bit.
The hair.
Sure.
Yeah. Sorry.
I hate him.
But yeah, the Heat are not in an ideal place, I should say.
It's a real shame. It's a real shame what's happening down in Miami. Also yesterday, Mavs beat the Thunder 121-119. In my opinion, the game wasn't as close as it looks. It was a 10-point game with 2 minutes left, yet Shea had 2 free throws to bring the game within 1. He missed the second one on purpose, of course. They didn't get the rebound. That's game. But Dallas won this game despite Clay being 1 of 10 from the field. Pretty impressive win for them against a Thunder team that's been beating just about everybody. Golden State is now at the top of the Western Conference because of this. Dallas is a real head scratcher of a team because they are pretty mediocre and then they end up beating a team that's as good as OKC.
Well, this is kind of what happened last year. Like they were okay for most of the year, but they really surged at the end of the season. So maybe it is just like they are a slow start team. Luke is a slow start player. Like it because as much of a like not ideal situation as it is, like it's a trend at this point. Like they just start slow, and maybe that is what it is. I don't know. I'll put it this way. I have a lot more faith in them turning it around than a lot of other teams around the league. Like I think Luka and the Mavs will be fine. I think they have a good roster. I think Clay's been good for them. They had a good offseason. Luka's been good. Luka historically has been able to turn things around, I should say. Kyrie's shooting red hot. He hasn't. No, he's been a bit inefficient. Clay's his shooting has actually dipped a little bit too. But the biggest thing that I've seen Mavs fans complain about is like Derek Lively versus Daniel Gafford. I think Derek Lively's been pretty underwhelming, or vice versa. I don't know, but the whole center situation is like I've seen a lot of Mavs fans be like, "What are we doing?"
I love a good "What are we doing?" Just fans incredulous looking at the head coach. There's plenty of NBA season left, but that's a good win for them for sure. Knicks Nets again. Nets lose again, and Tibbs is back. Tibbs played Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, and Mikal Bridges all 40-plus minutes. Hart Bridges, I think, played over 45 minutes. They only ran 8 guys deep in a November game against the Brooklyn Nets. Knicks are now 7-6, above 500. Finally, they're back. They're back to being one of the lone positive teams in the Eastern Conference. And Cat played another good game for them. They're all very excited about Cat. Cat, who does not defend the rim very well, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, similar to the Mavs, like I think the Knicks will be fine. I think there is a learning curve with a new team. I think you have to figure things out, who you want to play where, how many minutes, how many shots you want to go to different guys.
The answer is always all the minutes.
Clearly. So I think they'll be okay. Definitely a bumpier start than you wanted, but I think a lot of teams around the league are dealing with that.
Quick 1-2 to end this. Rockets want Bulls. Rockets have now won 5 in a row. Bulls suck. And Clippers beat Jazz. Jazz suck. Harden breaks Ray Allen's record. Or
James Harden, I don't think he's been very efficient this year, but he has been the Clippers. like he is literally
as expected.
Constantly like, yep, I'm going to set everybody up. And his assist numbers actually dipped a little bit to 8.5. And he had, not like dipped, but like he was averaging like 13 early in the season. But he's been a monster, just leading their offense. Norm Powell is still averaging 23, 3 and 2. And then I think Zubac is having still a crazy year. Yeah, Zubac, he's averaging 16, 12 and 2. So it's dipped a little bit. They're a better team than I think people are giving them credit for.
And just to update everybody, standings. Cavs 1, Celtics 2, Magic 3, Knicks 4, Pistons 5, Pacers 6, Hawks 7, Heat 8, Charlotte 9, Nets 10, Bulls 11, Bucks 4 and 9 at 12, Sixers 2 and 10 at 13. My fucking God. And actually, no, this cannot be up to date. I thought the Sixers won their third game.
Sixers are 2 and 10. Sixers are 2 and 10 right now.
No.
ESPN.
Okay, well, ESPN, only Washington and Toronto are worse. Washington has lost 8 straight, and Toronto.
Washington's also 2 and 10. They're the same. Yeah. They're one and the same.
Out west.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say also the Raptors are missing like 8 guys. So I feel the need to defend the Raptors because I was on here saying like I think they'll be better than expected, but I'm not. I'll admit I was wrong that I thought the Pistons are going to be worse than they are, but I'm not going to take the full brunt of the heat because the Raptors are just missing like if they were fully healthy, Kelly Olynyk would be playing 20 a night, Bruce Brown would be playing 20 a night, Scotty Barnes is obviously an all-star, and there's somebody else. Emmanuel Quickly has missed much time too, so I'm not going to eat it. I still think the Raptors have a good roster relative to expectations.
We'll see. Long season. Warriors top of the West at 10 and 2. OKC second, Houston winners of 5 straight third, Lakers 5 straight as well fourth, Phoenix 9 and 5 at 5th place, Denver 6, Minnesota 7, Sacramento 8, Memphis 9, Dallas 10, LA Clippers 11. All of these teams that I just said are 500 or better. Then the Spurs, Blazers, Pelicans, and Jazz rounded out. And San Antonio and Portland are only 1 game below 500. So all the way down to 13 in the West would be better than the 7th place Atlanta, or the same or better than the 7th place Atlanta Hawks in the Eastern Conference. It's a real shame.
Yes. Rockets. Let's jump there. Star hunting. The star hunting Rockets, hoping
Rockets are getting everybody, somebody, just as it always is.
Mark Stein says, this has been interpreted in some corners of the league, as noted in a recent Sunday notebook, as a strategy designed to give the Rockets more time to see if the dream trade target Kevin Durant were to become available down the road. No matter how adamant Phoenix has remained about its desire to keep Durant in the desert, the following expansion of the conversation was inevitable, given the various combinations of rising prospects and draft picks that the Rockets can assemble and theoretical trade offers. But similar whispers have begun to percolate, Jesus Christ, among rival teams monitoring potential down the road. Houston pursued of Antetokounmpo. So basically, the Rockets want a star to pair with the core, which makes sense because they've got a good team. I think you put it on here too, like they probably could make a good Giannis trade. I don't think the Suns are looking to get rid of Durant anytime soon, and by the time they are, I don't think he'll be the same Kevin Durant. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think trading for KD is going to move any. He doesn't suck, but it's just like a very, very short-sighted move. It's not going to win you games for more than like a season and a half. It's not going to be like what it used to be, where you feel like you can make a massive charge for a championship if you get Durant. Like maybe if you're Houston, you feel that way because you have solid players on your team and you're winning games right now. You're better off going after Giannis. It's just simple and true. And they do have the assets to actually do it. You mentioned the young players, they have draft picks, they have a surplus of guys. It doesn't feel like there's enough minutes for all of these guys that Houston has drafted to actually play. And that's where you run into well, it kind of feels like they have to make a trade. I don't know if Giannis is going to become available. There's still a lot of season left. They're only 12 games in. Phoenix is 9-5. I don't think they have any reason to want to trade KD unless you know what? Let me rephrase that. If they trade KD for a bunch of young players, it makes sense because they have no cap space and they don't have a lot of draft picks to bring in guys through the draft to fill in spots for low contract value.
Mm-hmm.
This would be a nice escape from them. It just really depends on how much they really believe that they can win right now. If they don't think that they can win with Durant, Booker, and Beal, they actually should be interested in this move, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. I don't think the Suns are going to trade KD. You have committed too much to this core to give up, and I don't think they're going to win with this team. I don't think they'll win a title. It is what it is, but you are good enough to have hope, and
They're
I
pot
don't
committed.
think. Yes. I do wonder if there's a way to say, like, obviously it's too much money and the trade could never work because just a cap perspective, but like, we'll trade you KD, but you got to take Bradley. You got to take Beal. Like, obviously it's too much
No
money
team.
to like the Rockets. You don't think the Rockets would?
I don't think they could.
I know. That's the problem. Not would, but could. That's where the problem lies. I'm gonna get on Fanspo just to like. It would never happen, but the Rockets are good this year though. They could be hunting for stars. They're 10-4.
$110 million in salary that they would be trading.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, it would have to be. Oh, the Suns can't even do it. They can't aggregate players in a trade. They cook themselves. It is possible though. It is like from a pure salary perspective, it can be done, but it will not be done because they literally cannot do it. Actually, technically, this trade is legal, but it will not be done. Yeah,
Listen,
Fred VanVleet, Dylan Brooks, Steven Adams, Reed Shepard for KD and Bradley Beal.
I think if Phoenix had the opportunity to trade Durant, they should. It feels like a sunken bet. If they had this trade, right? If they had an opportunity to bring in young players to like be part of their team going forward, where they could kind of actually build something, I think you have to do it because it's a sunken bet to be like, oh well, we committed to Durant and we have no
It is,
future.
but it isn't.
You're going to end up like the Clippers.
Yeah, it is, but it isn't though, because I think in their minds they have committed so much to this, and the team is good enough to where, like, I mean, you said it the other week, like you don't know what's gonna happen in the Western Conference. It is open enough to like you have to take that bet because you have 2 top 15 players in the league. You know what I'm saying? Like, for as much as the roster isn't perfect, for as much as things have been a little shaky at times, like you have 2 top 15 players in the league. You spent the money to this point. Like decommitting to a soft rebuild where you like have realistically no chance of winning a title is I don't think worth it for them yet. And it's not going to be there in a couple of years, obviously. And so, but I just think you have to eat it and be like, eh. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
If you think about it, when they went to the finals in 2021, it was Booker, an old Chris Paul, a young DeAndre Ayton, and then a lot of good supporting cast guys that they drafted. It wasn't a super team. And in today's NBA with the CBA, the Celtics are an exception to the rule, but like it's very difficult to put a deep competitive team out there if you're paying 3 guys that much money.
I get it. Yes. I get it. I don't know. I think you've committed too much to this to not to see it through.
Fair. I mean, I understand that perspective too.
Now,
It's just like you're
You
playing poker and you don't think you have the best hand, but you think you could still win, and there's also 9 other people in the hand,
yeah,
and you
I
have to
think
raise, and you have
it
an
would
out you can fold for nothing.
I think it would depend on the package. Um, I think if it was like, let me look. If it was Reed Shepherd, right? Because KD makes $50 million. If you're getting like Jabari Smith,
Mm.
you're getting. I don't really want Jalen Green, so I'm like, okay, I don't want that. I'm good. If you're trading for KD, I'm saying you have to put Amon Thompson in the deal. I want Amon Thompson. I don't care. I want the Thompson twin. Amon Thompson, Jabari Smith, and like the salary of Dylan Brooks and Fred VanVleet. I mean, I'm really high on him, so maybe I asked for Reed Shepherd instead of Jabari Smith. One of those two guys, two of Jabari Smith, Amon Thompson, Reed Shepherd. I say two of them have to be in the deal. Then the
If you're
salary
Phoenix,
matching
you
of
get
Dylan
Reed
Brooks
Shepherd.
and salary matching of Dylan Brooks and Steven Adams. And then what? 3 first-round picks? Like you say, okay, we'll take okay, so like we'll take this one, we'll take in 20 and then some 2029. Then that's too much salary for the Suns to take back. So it'd have to be. I mean, but that's an easy fix. Like you could just do somebody else instead of Steven Adams, like whatever, Jayson Tate. Then you're working with 2 young guys, 3 picks, and you could run like Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, Jabari Smith, Amen Thompson, and like center. Like you get it, but like that's not good enough. And I don't believe enough in any of these young pieces to be like that is going to be a Devin Booker running mate for years. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's the problem for me.
Yeah. I mean, if you get Reed Shepherd in there, it does take care of a serious need for Phoenix. They brought in Tyus Jones this year, and they brought in Monty Morris. But you can have a guy that you're like, this is our guy going forward at the point guard spot, a spot that they really lacked last year.
It's
And it was a
true.
clear hole.
It's true. I just don't know. It is. None of them are blue chip prospects. You know what I'm saying? None of them are good
Right.
enough prospects, in my opinion, to be like, okay, this is worth trading Kevin Durant. But then again, like, can you get a blue chip prospect for Kevin Durant at this point? I think both are valid questions. But anyways, last NBA thing before we jump to the rat list. Inside the NBA, Sam, ESPN/ABC is going to have the rights.
And everybody
I don't know
that
how to
cried
feel about
3
this.
months ago is back. They're back.
How do you feel about this? What do you think?
I don't care. I think people care about it. I personally don't watch like these shows. I think the clips are funny. I like the group that does this show. I'm in on them. I think they're funny. But when if the Celtics are playing on TNT, like I'm not paying attention to the halftime show. Like I'm not tuning in before the game. Granted, I'm not everybody. I'm doing my own pregame show with Jack. Like it's a little different for me. I think if you're an NBA fan, you should be happy about this. I think these guys are very important to the game. They're icons in the space. And it's good that their show isn't going to be just out into the ether because billionaires did billionaire things or didn't pay to have rights or whatever. But I understand the concerns with this being a part of ESPN now, where ESPN typically does not put out a good product and it's a lot of ad stuff, and the actual TV minute breaks that they have aren't really long enough to have the fun that TNT has.
I saw a lot of people say something along the lines of like, I swear to God, if they try to put Stephen A. Smith on this shit.
I think Stephen A. being on there would be fun. He kind of fits with what they do.
Yeah, but I don't think you want to.
I don't think they want him to. They shouldn't want him to be Ernie. If they're worried about him being Ernie, then I get it.
Well, I just don't think they want him to ruin the flow. Like they have such a good thing going. Don't mess with something that's good. You know what I'm saying? It's like as much as Stephen A. Smith could be good on that front, like why change something that has worked for years and years and years? And if I'm them, I'm like, no, this is our guys. Like I don't want to fuck with the cast of characters we have.
I don't think they'll have Stephen A. on there every single time. They don't need to. They
Hmm.
by doing this, they know that they have value in this product. They know the product is valuable. Otherwise, they wouldn't have went out and got it. Why would
It's true.
the hype alone will be enough to get people to tune in?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm glad the show will keep going if the guys want to stay on. But
Aside
anyways,
from
all right,
Stephen A, do you have concerns?
Park.
Good concern.
Thank you. Let's go to the rat list here, Sam. What do you got?
Rat list is I want to say being sick, but I think I did that the last time. I'm just so happy I didn't. I'm so unequivocally happy I did not go to the game Saturday because I would have been fucked. I would have been up the creek without a paddle if I went to the game. That regulation miss that Tatum had to send it to overtime would have killed me on the 9th floor. I would have been like, oh my God, I'm going to have to be here till 1 a.m. before I can even think about going home. So that would be my number one rat list. I'm almost over it. Been coughing a lot. And I ran on Friday. Did I talk about this?
Maybe. I don't think so.
I ran on Friday, and for like when you like run and you're not used to running, you'll get like the sore throat feeling because you're so tired.
Sure.
I got that on Friday for the first time in who knows how long.
Sorry, I thought there should be more. I'm gonna rat list the driver that I was. So I drove my car to the practice facility today, because I wanted to try to find parking on ComAv beforehand, then walk over, but I didn't find parking, so I'm like, all right, I'll just drive there, try to find it again on the way back. Didn't find it on the way back. Just paid for a spot. Go try again tomorrow. It's tough. It's possible. But I'm pulling out. Let me try to. Google Earth it. Let me show. I'll show the viewers what I'm talking about. Do you ever deal with something on the road and then you think back and you're like, was that my fault? There's no way that could have been my fault because it was just such a baffling situation.
Yeah, definitely.
You understand what I'm talking about? Like, it was like I was so baffled at the choice this person made that I was like, was I actually wrong? Like how? So I was coming out of the airbag center, taking, where is the street? So it would be, I think, this street.
Okay.
So yeah, right here. Let me put a little dude down. Bang. So I was coming right here, and I was on this road going this way. So as you can see, lights, and for just this street. So when you have the green light, what do you have, Sam?
The right of way.
If I have the green light, I have the right of way, correct? So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to humor myself to see if I was in the wrong here. So this street right here is the one that I'm questioning. Because I don't think this is where they came from, but that is the only logical explanation in my brain to explain the situation I'm doing. So this street this is a one-way street. Okay, so I am completely right. I'm glad this street can only go this way. Perfect.
Okay.
Because that now I know that I am not in the wrong. Awesome. So I was here, right? Light turns green, which again, say it for me, Sam. What do I have?
Right of way.
Thank you. So I'm going out. There's even a car in front of me. The car in front of me goes, and then I go behind him. Car comes speeding into this intersection, and the lady just looks at me like, goes, "What the fuck?" I laugh in her face, and I go, "I have a green light." Like, what do you fucking mean? Why are you yelling at me? And she just goes in front of me, and I was left. So in my head, I'm like, did she come from that street over there? Like, did I miss
trying to
her?
go right on lead?
Did I don't know, but no, because this is a one-way street.
So she went across.
Yeah, she came, like, I was coming out this way and she was coming from over here and was across from me this way, like cutting across. So she had to have come from where this gray car is, which would have had a red light because I had a green light. So I was sitting there like bewildered as to like, one, why did I get yelled at? You're very clearly wrong. And two, where the fuck did you come from? Did you just run a red? Were you like stuck in the intersection trying to go through? Like, either way, you were wrong and incorrect. But I literally just, like, she looked at me like angry. I just laughed. I was like, what are you doing? Like, I was baffled. It was, some people got to get their licenses taken away, man.
That's horrible, man. I agree. You gotta take the licenses away. Rat list is my friend Tyler. if I could speak. So yesterday we had our Friendsgiving. Great time. Love Friendsgiving. Every time I have Friendsgiving, I think I leave Friendsgiving and I'm like, damn, I'm sad that I don't get to do this stuff all the time. Like me and my friends like see each other like 4 times a week back in the day. But anyways, we saw each other last Thursday. We have our Friendsgiving. There's like 10 of us that come to this event. My friend Tyler's hosting. And we eat great food. We did wings instead of turkey because no one would make the turkey, which is fine. After we eat, he's like, I'm going to go lay down. This dude takes a nap for like 2 hours. He's the host. It's your house.
Hey, so did he go to his room and take a nap, or was he out there?
Yeah. No, he went to his room and took a nap. Shut the door.
That's a tech.
We were like watching TV, and we had 2 separate like squads of like TVs. So we had one room, we had another room, and I was in one room. And I leave the room, and I go to see the other group, and I was like, "Oh, he's not with you guys?" And they're like, "No, he said he was going to go lay down." How are you going to lay down? Mind you, Jack, we do not get to do things like this very often. How are you going to go lay down and like sleep through this event that we do once a year? Crazy talk. We were all about to leave at like 5:30, and he got so lucky he woke up when he did because he was about to wake up to nobody being in his house. He would have just woke up and been like, where did everybody go? Why didn't they take leftovers? We stayed for another 2 hours. Great time, but crazy behavior to be like, yeah, I'm going to go take a nap.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, I get it. Like, I get tired after E too, but like, come on, bro. You can't.
We were all tired.
Yeah, you can't be doing that. Why were there 2 separate groups? Why did you guys go to 2 separate rooms?
There wasn't enough seat. There was like 2 TVs. There wasn't enough like seats in one room, so we just kind of like were chilling.
I see. Bro, I think I rat listed the traffic to Maine on Friday, but contextualizing it with how easy it was to drive to Maine on Sunday made me even more angry. It took us 2.5 hours, like almost 2 hours 45 to get to Maine on Sunday. It took me an hour 40 on Sunday. Like it added an hour. Like that is insane. I was like, what the hell? So that was special stuff, bro.
I won't have to deal with traffic tomorrow.
Why? Oh yeah, true. Yeah, man. Very weird, but cool. I don't got anything else. Do you have anything else?
I feel like I should have something else, but I don't. So call it a day.
Alrighty. In that case, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to How About Them Celtics here on Spotify and on Apple. And I'll let Sam take it out.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you subscribe, leave a like, comment, tell us what you're feeling ahead of Celtics Cavs. You can also hit the bell because Jack and I are here no matter what every single morning. So you'll get notified when the new pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, or the game recaps go up the morning after each game, or other videos are up in the channel in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can also find us on Spotify and Apple. All pods and game recaps are there. If you just want the audio versions, follow us. They'll go right to your feed. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. We love to hear from you guys. We love to have your emails. You saw on the show today, we always will go through them on each pod, so get those thoughts in. You can find us on socials at How About Them C's, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Facebook's just the name of the podcast. Our streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's Jack's Money Bait. Mine's the same with friends. And that's it for us. Bye.